I want to walk over and say hi to Roger Anderson. We've had him on before. I'm really thrilled to welcome Jolly Roger back. Hello, Roger. I mean, Jolly. I mean,
thank you.
You want to
Thanks for having
there?
me back. Thanks. Great to see you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
so last time we talked about the Jolly Roger phone company, jollyrogerphonecompany.com.
JollyRogerTelephone.com.
Telephone.com,
Right.
okay.
Couldn't get Jolly Roger, naturally.
You were harassing telemarketers by creating robots that would waste their time.
Correct. Calls would come into you. You determine it's a telemarketer. Rather than hang up so they can call somebody else right away, you engage a robot. The robot will chat with them for a while and waste their time.
And we've listened to, I don't know if you remember this, but we listened to the calls. It's hysterical.
Thank you.
This was something you just thought up?
It was completely whimsical. It was only meant to protect my own line at home and then and to protect the network, right? Because I love telephones and I want to protect the telecom network from telemarketing, which I think is bad for the telephone network.
Yeah.
So how long do these response pranks go on? Like, what's an average length of time that you can keep a telemarketer on the line with these canned responses?
I have a lot of calls that are 5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes.
5 to 10 minutes with
Do they
telemarketers.
just give up and be like, oh, I'm being played at some point in time and surrender, or is it
Most of the time they think either it's a real person messing with them, or it's somebody who's just really dumb.
Is there a difference?
They don't get mad, in other words. They don't say, stop messing.
Oh, they get mad.
They get mad.
Yeah, they get mad.
Do
The
they
robots
shout?
don't get mad. Yes, they shout,
Can
they
you
swear.
play, do we have, it's all on the website, there's tons of them, and you have a call of the day and everything.
There's a bee on me. Hang on. There's a bee on my arm.
So this is the robot.
This is
It's actually you.
Right.
Okay.
Is it going to sting you?
You know what?
You okay?
You keep talking. I'm not going to talk, though, but go ahead and keep talking. Say that part again. And I'm just going to
Say what part again?
because of this bee.
Because of the bee?
So that's the telemarketer.
It's totally crawling up my arm. It's crawling on my arm.
So you're just going to let it
Freaking me
crawl,
out.
or you can actually flick it
It's not
before it
mad.
does
I guess
anything
it's
for you.
okay. Anyway,
That is-
so sorry. You can talk. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, I was saying you can, you know you can flick it or shoot it away and it won't sting you, right?
Sure.
You just,
so why would you let
these
it crawl on your arm?
delays are not, they're just
Okay. It's
in
gone.
there.
Hey.
You're not waiting for him to talk or
okay.
anything.
I am.
You know
No,
what?
it's complicated. It's an algorithm.
So it's responsive.
It is. It is. Yeah. No.
How's this going? Is it going well?
It's going well. I have a lot of traffic, a lot of people interested in using it. I now offer a subscription service for $6 a year. You can sign up, and these robots will protect your lines at home. I can intercept the calls.
What was the website again?
JollyRogerTelephone.com.
Okay, there you
so
go.
if you hate telemarketing, it's a great way to deal with telemarketers.
We got to hurry this up. My Apple Watch tells me the food's going to be ready in 5
Oh
minutes.
gosh. Okay. All right. So
You
good.
got a new idea, which
Well-
sounds to me vaguely illegal, but go ahead, tell me about
Okay,
this.
so we're all familiar, especially you and your audience, we're familiar with the Windows pop-up that says your
Hate
computer's
those.
infected by a virus. Right?
Hate those.
Yeah.
And I had a caller the other day on the radio show. Her elderly aunt, she would tell her over and over again, no, that's not real. And she continued to call back, pay the money. She said, but no, they said I had to call hundreds of dollars. And she
Oh,
couldn't.
that is extortion.
It just breaks
It's
my heart.
abuse.
It breaks my heart.
Right. So, you know, I don't like telemarketing, and a lot of telemarketers are scammers, and it kind of crosses over. I got a pop-up. I don't know how it happened. You know, I just got the pop-up one day, and I said, you know, I've got these robots, and I work on phone systems. I'm going to call this number back 100 times on 20 simultaneous channels.
That's the part that sounds illegal.
Doesn't it? It does, right?
Not that there's anything wrong with
No,
it.
right.
With you
right?
entirely, Leo.
So-
That sounds like complete.
So it really does, right? Now, these scammers are clearly engaging in illegal activity themselves.
And they're not in the U.S.
They're offshore,
Yeah.
right?
So they're probably not protected by U.S.
They're
law.
probably not, right? And so, right, you know, it's a very vague telecom law. I've been on just the edge of telecom law. Telecom law is very complicated, right?
The only reason I say it might be illegal is I remember I wrote a robo-dialer back in the 80s, I think.
Okay.
And I remember there were limits on how many times you could redial a number, things like that.
Okay.
Like you could only call a number like 8 times before it was illegal. Now that was a long
Oh,
time
wow.
ago.
Something mini.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, but so far you haven't found any rule against it. Have you been doing this?
I have mostly as an experiment because it's like whack-a-mole, right? There's only so much.
But what you'd like to do is unleash the hounds.
I really would. I can flood those. If you get a pop-up with that number, I can hit that number so hard on so many channels that no other calls
So
get
this
through.
is just telephonic
Wait a minute.
DDoS.
He's going to DDoS them.
Yeah, but with a telephone.
Yeah, I can
And
do
fake
it.
bots.
Right?
That's
Right.
definitely illegal.
/awesome.
So can we do it?
We can do it. Yeah, we can do it. And I've done it. I've taken numbers out of service. Now, some call centers
have many lines.
Some call centers have a few agents, but a lot of lines.
Yeah.
And in that case, I'm consuming their 800, their toll-free service. I'm congesting their internet pipes. I'm doing all
You
kinds
might
of.
even be costing them money because
Oh,
800.
no, you must be.
I am costing them money because they're paying.
Right.
They're paying for those incoming calls, right? Some call centers only have a couple people, right? Many of these call centers will have to cycle the numbers quickly.
Salmon's done.
Okay.
That's all right.
Let's
No,
eat.
keep talking.
Okay.
It's just going to sit there. They're fine, but you see
Okay.
it's ready.
I'm
it looks
curious,
delicious.
how big is the scamming network out there that's abusing these people, telling them they have viruses and they need to call in and pay money? How big is that industry? Because I've
Well,
never seen it myself in the wild.
It's funny because I'm starting to learn. Like in much the same way I was very naive about inbound telemarketing and how prevalent it was. I hadn't realized there were so many campaigns, so many scammers that rely on inbound calls, right? And there are a lot of them, and there are thousands and thousands of these numbers that pop all the time.
Microsoft will never do this. This isn't Microsoft
Correct.
popping up these
That's correct.
warnings.
Right.
I've had an inbound, people call me saying I'm calling from Windows.
Right.
But this is the new
I'm calling
scam.
from Windows?
Yeah, they say I'm
Oh,
calling
that's-
from
it's
Windows.
Like, okay, I can call like, people who run
you haven't
Windows.
received any of those
I don't
yet?
answer any number on my cell phone I can't, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I've been writing on the
So
internet
this
for
is
too many
pretty
years.
prevalent, and there's mostly scamming older people, less
Right,
sophisticated
right.
people. So, but now the pop-up's probably even more effective because that gets the people to call them.
It does, and if they can inject these on malicious ads or domains that are just typo domains and things like that, then they can just, worldwide they can get people calling in. So.
Wow. So have you? Are we gonna? Can we do? Why are we gonna start doing this now?
Well, I'm working on some robots designed for this. The robots that I use today for telemarketing work well. Once they realize that they're being attacked, their only choice is to disconnect the number, right?
Wow.
They
I
know the
love
course.
this.
They can't put a
I'm
wall
trying
in front
not
of
to
it, of course,
use it.
'cause that
It gives me all
wouldn't
these
work.
virus warnings, but it's hard not to use your computer.
So this is
You
an
ever noticed
outbound
that?
call.
Anyway, do you want to help me with these virus warnings? Like, can you do that? You want to help?
Yes.
Okay, I should have grabbed a pen earlier.
you're not live, right? This
my
is a
doctor
robot.
told
This
me
is
to write
automated.
this stuff down, so my memory is really bad. But I have a pen
Setting
now, and
up.
I'm ready to listen. So start over. I got a pen. Okay, that pen
And may I
doesn't
know
work.
that you're calling from which?
I've
you're
been trying to
calling from
write
which
on it
right now?
while we're on the phone. So hang on. Here's a Sharpie. This one works. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking.
You're calling from which state?
Oh, that's a problem. You can't understand what he's saying.
You're calling from which state? I'm asking you.
The robot doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to do its job. Yeah.
Okay, I've run out of
I'm-
room on my hand.
I'm asking.
I didn't have any paper, so I was writing on my hand while you were
love how
talking.
calm the
But
voice
I'm back at my desk now, and I've got paper, and I've got a working pen, and I think my meds are wearing off, so I can concentrate a little better. So now, go ahead. Start over. What were you saying?
Andy? Andy?
Mm-hmm.
And off he goes, right? Because that's the 400th call that they've received today.
They're
from
starting
these
to wise
robots,
up.
right? Yes, they
Hello?
start to wise up. They don't know what to do, right?
400?
Well, no, more than that. Much more than that.
How many is much more than that? Like 4,000?
I've made thousands of calls into these call centers, right? Because some call centers can handle it, and it takes thousands of calls to crush
So
them.
your
right?
robot will keep trying until it gets the
Yeah, they
fast busy
even
that
if they
says the
recognize
trunk
it's a
is
robot
Yeah.
and they hang up the phone,
can't. It's
2
a
seconds
DDoS.
later another call's coming
Right.
in and it's tying and right. So yeah, it's there. Some of these numbers are knocked out of service. They have to cycle the numbers. I could really use help from your audience.
What would you like us to do? Because anything you want.
Well,
We'll do.
there's when they cycle a number, there must be a publishing source of these numbers. These pop-ups will pop in. I think
Because
dynamically
they have to
they're
get
pulling.
back into the pop-up.
Right. So these pop-ups.
they're going to a website
Yeah.
probably or a,
If the pop-ups if the number's hard coded in the pop-up, then great, because the number's out
Yeah,
of
you
service,
broke
right?
it.
But very likely their images or their phone numbers that are pulled dynamically from some IP address somewhere, right? And finding the source of the publishing of those numbers.
So-
I can knock them out 5 minutes later. 5 minutes after they publish a new number, I can knock that new
Would
number
you
out.
like our audience to get a pop-up and tell you where?
That's working well,
Yeah.
but because there are so many. So yes, absolutely, report the pop-ups to me
Okay.
through jollyrogertelephone.com. There's some contact info on there,
Okay.
right? But really what I could really use help with is some automation on this, right? I can automate the killing off of these numbers. I can
Yeah.
pound them into the dust.
Yeah.
But I could really use but I don't want to.
So would this be somebody with asterisk skills, or what kind of skills?
This would be more of someone on the domain side, or on the can look through the source code of the pop-up and say,
find out where they're
here we
getting
go. This
these
is the IP
numbers
address
from.
that these numbers
Got
are
it.
coming from, right?
Okay.
So that would be the way to do
How
it.
can they contact you?
Well, I'm Roger at jollyrogertelephone.com, Facebook, Twitter, and then of course the website. It's all the contact info is on jollyrogertelephone.com. So
Is it? This says jollyrogertelco.com. Is that wrong?
same thing.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Twitter.
You're
Yeah.
doing the work.
Oh,
of the
thank you
Lord.
so much.